Hi everyone, it's Wednesday. Time for Wisdom Wednesday. I am having to shoot this in my car today because my phone died at work and I'm on the way home and have things going on. So wanted to shoot this on the way home and wanted to talk a little bit about the meeting that I attended online this weekend on Friday and Saturday. Was all about cellular senescence. And cellular senescence is that which occurs with aging cells. So cells will reproduce a certain number of times based on where they are in the body, but based on a predictive amount of time called the Hayflick limit. Usually about 50 to 70 times they will reproduce. And then when they stop reproducing, the idea is that they have programmed cell death, and the body then comes in, the immune system comes in and cleans these cells up and sort of cycles these types, all the products of the cellular cycling, and new cells are created, and we go from there. However, as we age, cells that are set up for programmed cell death, some of them don't really die, and they become what we call zombie cells. And as you know, zombies like to kill more cells and have more zombies. And so this is actually what can happen in the body, is that we can be overburdened by these senescent cells that really don't ever die, but they have activity in that they can release things into the environment around them, particularly cytokines, which we've heard about, chemokines, which are chemicals, and then proteases, enzymes that can break down proteins. And they can then cause surrounding cells to also become zombie cells. And these cells then can create such inflammation, and they can actually at their source be at the heart of what causes and creates chronic illness, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, cancers. So obviously this is something that we want to try to eliminate in the body and reduce, because it is a toxic burden to the body. Think about, if you will, even just the term one bad apple spoils the whole batch. Same kind of thing. One bad cell like this, if it's not taken care of, can create a sandstorm, if you will, of just abnormal cells, which then draws in inflammation and continues to increase oxidative stress in the body, and then ultimately leads to these chronic long-term problems. So one of the biggest areas of research right now is in cellular senescence and creating and producing new drugs, if you will, called Synalytics. Now, for those of you that are really learning and wanting to stay on top of longevity, Synalytics is a very big area of research. In fact, in the last 5 to 10 years, it has just skyrocketed, the amount of research that is going into trying to find specific molecules that can go in and search out these abnormal cells and destroy them without wreaking havoc to normal cells. And it's interesting because each tissue type has senescent type cells or senescent cells, and these, not all Senolytics, if you will, or the molecules that are designed to go out and seek and destroy these abnormal cells, can address all tissue types. So there's a lot of areas of research right now, but we have visited and talked a little bit about certain types of molecules. In fact, the last several weeks we've talked about resveratrol, we've talked about curcumin. There are some newer ones out there. Well, we've talked about quercetin before, and that's also a senolytic. And quercetin, when it is combined with a dasatinib, which is a chemotherapeutic agent, it has marked beneficial results as a senolytic. But so we're studying these and learning more and more. Most of the studies, however, have been done in animals, and so we don't have a lot of human studies. But there's a new one that's kind of come down the pike that looks very promising, called Fisatin, or Fisatin, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's Fisaten. And it's being studied now. It looks very good in animal studies, and it seems to decrease the burden, if you will, of senescent type cells. And so as we get more and more information, we'll be able to look at dosages and how often. And it's thought that these types of treatments will actually be more cyclical rather than something we want to take all the time. For instance, they're using this dasatinib with quercetin, very short cycles, because you don't want to create a problem with healthy cells. And that's the problem that we're seeing in a lot of the human studies. So we just have mostly animal studies, but there is definitely great benefit if we can find ways to clear out these senescent cells. Just like anything, it starts with lifestyle, starts with understanding the benefits of nutrition and exercise and all of these other things which we can do. But there are certain foods, these flavonoids and polyphenols and different things that we've talked about, the spermidine, the curcumin, quercetin, and now we're looking at some newer substances, are all looking very favorable in many ways. And just like with any type of supplement, you can't take them all. And so it's nice that we will be able to cycle some in and out. And I just wanted to introduce you to basically what cellular senescence was, a little bit more in depth, and then this term Senolytics, because you're going to be hearing an awful lot more about it as time goes on. And as we get more and more studies and more information, we'll be happy to share that with you as well. Now, we received this week our first test from the gallery testing that we are doing now. And it's, I think, something still very beneficial. It's a tool that we can use in our toolbox, this screening for 50 cancers. And it's nice that we're able to get them back very quickly, and wanted to just share that with you. If you're interested, please let us know. Again, it's not a foolproof test, but we do believe that it has some real value as a tool to perhaps detect early diagnoses of some of the rarer cancers and some of the cancers that are out there that we really don't have a good screening test for. Certainly, we encourage everybody to continue to do the normal screenings for women, their mammogram, and then for all of us, colonoscopy for colon cancer, and for men for prostate digital rectal exams. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you too. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll talk again next week. Hopefully my phone will be well charged and I'll be able to do it in the office. Have a good one. Take care.